Putin is a war criminal and should be in jail for the rest of his life, if not executed.
If you're looking for someone who has real power and influence to keep Trump in check, look no further than U.S. Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi. President Donald Trump's recent actions related to Russia and Ukraine are terrifying people around the world, and they signal one of the most dramatic U.S. foreign policy shifts of recent years. Experts warn the effects here could help our country's biggest enemies gain more power and literally reshape the way the world looks. Roger Wicker, who hails from small town in North Mississippi, chairs one of the most influential Senate committees, the Senate Armed Services Committee. Because of that position, he has major influence with leaders around the world. What he says and does truly matters. Now, Wicker has long been one of America's best friends to Ukraine, a country that has been an important ally to the United States for many years. 10 years ago, Wicker co-founded the U.S. Senate Ukraine Caucus. And for years, he's bragged about his support of sending U.S. aid to Ukraine to help them defend themselves against Russia, which of course is led by one of the world's most brutal dictators, Vladimir Putin.
If we give the Ukrainians the tools they need, they will fight to the death, and they'll fight block by block, house by house, and town by town to defend their country from going back under the thumb of Russia.
Putin is a war criminal. He needs to be in prison for the rest of his life.
Do you think that Putin can be trusted in these negotiations?
No. Putin is a war criminal and should be in jail for the rest of his life, if not executed.
Roger Wicker hates Russia and Putin so much that he likened Putin to Hitler just 3 years ago after Russia invaded Ukraine. Fast forward 3 years to today, and Trump is working to undo generations of U.S. foreign policy when it comes to Russia. In the past 2 weeks, Trump is warming up to Russia and Putin so much that the Kremlin is publicly praising Trump. Russian officials this week actually had to warn their colleagues to stop publicly showering Trump with so much praise. In the last 2 weeks alone, Trump has halted U.S. military aid to Ukraine. He stopped U.S. offensive cyber operations against Russia, and he's planning to revoke legal immigration status for all Ukrainians who fled to the U.S. after Russia invaded their country 3 years ago. Now, this is the most outward hostility toward Ukraine and for Russia from a U.S. president arguably ever. And foreign policy experts say we're watching Trump abandon our long-standing allies in Europe and essentially switching sides in the Russia-Ukraine war. Again, Russia, one of our biggest enemies, loves every minute of this, and the stakes here are incredibly high. You know who must hate all of it, though? Roger Wicker. Let's be real. Trump is a powerful president. He's got more loyalty among high-profile members of his party than any other president in recent memory. It's very rare that Republicans would call Trump out. But this is unprecedented stuff coming from the White House. Many Americans are waiting and hoping that someone like Roger Wicker will lean on his experience and remind Trump that Putin is one of our biggest adversaries and wants to grow his power and keep doing harm to millions of people. We're not talking about petty political rhetoric here. We're talking about actions from the Trump administration that could significantly change the world as we know it, and not for the better. Roger Wicker has more power than just about anyone else in the world to call out Trump and other Putin sympathizers who are trying to dismantle the world order. The effects of these changes could ruin or end millions of lives. International peace, fair and free elections, positive humanitarian causes are all on the line here. That's why so many people are hoping the senator from Mississippi does something more before it's too late. The big question now is pretty simple. Does Roger Wicker have the courage to stand up to Donald Trump? We're covering every step of this at MississippiToday.org. Be sure to check us out.